I'm your host today, Evelyn Erives, and I am in the company of two really awesome representatives from Susan G. Komen, IE. We've got Jill Eaton, the Executive Director of Susan G. Komen, IE, and of course, Carrie Adams, I'm going to say warrior,
Yay!
survivor, all around awesome chick to talk about the mission of Susan G. Komen. Thank you guys for coming in.
Thank you for having us. This is awesome.
Yeah, this is really, really cool. So I want to hear, before we get into like the nitty gritty, tell us about the mission that is Susan G. Komen. Now, of course, you'd have to live under a rock if you've never heard about Komen. You know what I mean? If you've never heard what this is about. But there might be someone out there that wants to know, what is the mission?
Our goal is to have a world without breast cancer. And so our mission is to fulfill the most critical needs in our community by also providing funding towards research. So, Susan G. Komen Inland Empire represents all of Riverside and San Bernardino counties, and it's through the good work of our community that we're able to provide those services to our community. We provide funding towards hospitals and also local nonprofits to help provide those services for those affected by this tragic disease. And if we weren't here, those services probably would not be provided.
Right.
So I come from a family of survivors. And so I knew at some point it wasn't if, it was when for me.
Really? You felt that in your heart that was going to be...
Yeah. Yes, in the back of my mind. And then, but I think what happened was like I was diagnosed decades earlier than my parent, or than my mom and my grandmother. And so, the one thing that happens every time you go in after you've been diagnosed is your doctors ask you, what made you come in? What made you get tested? And I think that my story isn't unique. My story is everyone's story.
Oh, wow.
And so within about a week, the doctor's office called me back, said, come, we'd like to do a few more tests. I'd say within a month, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I was diagnosed May 3rd, 2016. And literally when they say your world stops, it stops.
Yeah.
It just stops on a dime. And I wasn't, I was a VP at Altura Credit Union. Like, I loved what I was doing, but it changed everything. It changed my perception. It changed that I was no longer in control of my own life. I felt like I was no longer in control of my own destiny. And so the diagnosis for me, some people say it's like, it's the end, but really it was my awakening.
Yeah.
It was me learning that I had to take control of my treatment. I had to ask questions. I had to figure out with my family, with my husband, with my parents, what was going to be the best so that I could live the longest life possible. And so now I'm an advocate of just go get a mammogram. It doesn't hurt. Even though people might say it does, it doesn't hurt. But for me, early diagnosis was the difference. I had such a higher percent rate of survival rate. I think my rate was like 95%.
Oh, wow.
Because I was stage 1. I had type 2 triple positive breast cancer. And for me, I just thought it's the end. But really, it was me getting to know myself, me being able to tell my doctors, tell my family where I was in my life, and being able to ask for help.
Yeah.
Because when you're diagnosed with breast cancer and you're going through those treatments and you're going through chemo, like you can't do it by yourself. It takes an entire community. And organizations like Susan G. Komen, different community organizations, like I thrived because you were here.
If you are thinking about getting checked out, go get checked out.
Yes.
Just do it. Don't wait for Drew Barrymore to tell you.
No, make your appointment today.
Hey,
that was so fun.
You guys did great. You guys did great. That was perfect.